It's like you. It's like you went, oh, like your show. And I'm like, who is this? I'm like, I love her. I was just saying, but like I had Craig Campoboso, who was on my show. He's like a well-known starseed, and he wrote the Intergalactic Species Almanac of 85 species. Very, and when I say very, very detailed.
I've seen this work.
And beautiful artwork. When I had him on, now this is me, March. 3 days later, I have the DNA activation, which I thought was healing. Surprise. And then I had him on. I said, "You're not human, are you?" And he goes, "No." I said, "What are you?" And he says, "Oh, Palladian." I said, "Tell me about that." He says, "Oh, well, I work with Metatron, St. Michael, Sananda, which is Christ. I work with different ones. And we're just trying to bring love and light." He said, and I said, "What about the reptiles?" He goes, "Well, they're everything you think." He said, "I don't like them much." He said, I know how to banish them. And he showed me this beautiful heart thing he came out with Melchizedek and Metatron and Michael. And he says, "I just place these at homes and like, those famous celebrities." He said, "And whatever's there goes." And he said, "Because the vibration is so high." And so I was like, really? So now he's creating a big Starseed movie, but he's worked on big time movies like with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Steven Spielberg, very big ones. And so then I saw Fiona next, and it hasn't stopped. It's crazy. And everyone that I have on, I thought it would just be, oh, they're very nice, but I didn't know I would have anything to do with them. But apparently there's some big orchestration of something going on. I had Preston Ditton, who's written 27 books on UFOs. And in between our thing, we took a bathroom break. I came back and I said, I've been having these dreams for a couple of years that I can remember now. I think they went on for a long time, but I said, I'm on this ship. I explain it all. And he starts laughing. I went, "This isn't a dream." He goes, "No, I've been there too. They did the same thing with me." And I explained the whole thing with the ship, how it's geared, how it's propelled, what they said to me, what it looked like, where he took me on the tour. I said, I was like treated very special. And so, then after doing more with Fiona, which I don't tell people because I think it's too much, but with Fiona Van Rensburg, the second and the third, she liked my channeling so much because I was channeling stuff for her that we just ended up doing trade because she's like, I love it. Because, they were speaking to her, telling her stuff. So and I was like, whatever, it's fine. We're both master teachers, so it's fine. Anyway, she would always get messages too. They would always talk to her. But when she said Syrian Light Council, we both went, whoa, we felt it. And there's a lady called Alethea who talks to me now of the Syrian Light Council. And I've seen, well, my husband saw the first one in August. It was a series of large, they look like orange, like this series of them. They were UFOs. And then I saw a full-on mothership in my backyard in October, like full-on, like massive. And so they've been communicating with me. I think they're going to land soon. That's what I think. I just keep getting it. I think they're going to land, and it's going to change perception, and it's going to be a game changer. I think it's definitely within the next 5 years. I don't know how soon, but I feel like they're getting prepared to make themselves known. And so that's, I think, one reason people are being activated. But the Syrian thing, I had 3 years before Fiona at a in between life, past life reading, just to let you know a little bit about me, in between past life reading. And but this lady that came through my city, and I actually changed my speaker to have her. I was like, all right, Dr. Linda Bachman, and she thinks there's interplanetary, angel, and human. And when she does past life. And so we did it before I got here life. And I was a Syrian angelic celestial being that was also an Elohim. And I channel the Elohim now. So I have another friend who an NDE, and in between her NDE, I said, "You're an angel." She goes, "How do you know?" I went, and she's like, she's been on the ship too. And then and she's French. And then I had another lady that's been on my show, Brooke. And I said, "You're an angel. You're not from here, but you're originally from Lyria." And she goes, "How do you know that?" I went, she goes, "Yeah."
I just do.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Ever since that happened to me, I can I'm still learning, but I can kind of tell. And I've done Arcturian too. I've seen being in a temple and a pyramid and working with elements and the light coming through the center of the temple and controlling energy. I've seen a lot of things. It was I didn't have human feelings as an Arcturian. It was more practical. I don't know how to say it. It was more practical. To A to B kind of thing, not a lot of emotional stuff. But so we've been a lot of things. But first time I saw you, I saw Lemuria.
Oh, that as well. I've had many soul experiences. Like, I've been an Arcturian, I've been a Lemurian, I've been Atlantean, which, those civilizations were at clash. I was a reptilian as well. It's like,
I was a reptilian several times. True.
We all go through all these polarities. So
Mhm.
but my dearest, my most prominent lifetimes that I actually love from a human perspective, there's Lyran avian beings, there's Lyran feline beings, but there's also the avian beings, and not many people talk about, but I'm very close with them.
That's what I saw. I wasn't going to go there, but it's Asian Palladians, and they were in my thing that I told Preston. And I said, they look like little Asians. And he started laughing. I said, they had little eyes. And he said, take a close look at those eyes. They did look Asian, but they were bigger eyes.
I see.
And,
well,
yeah.
There's so many races that we're not even aware of.
Yeah.
The Pleiadians, Arcturian, Syrians, they're kind of famous because they work with us all the time. They've been around humanity for millennia. So they're the most prominent ones helping us along our evolution path. But there's many other races that are lesser known. That they're just as beautiful. I mean, there's all sorts. It's like Star Wars. It's
right. And the thing that gets me, there are people still out there, and I try to look at all of these things. I feel like and we're just talking a minute before we start, soul to soul, kind of just star sister to star sister. But I have also seen reptilian. That actually, with Dr. Linda Beckman, she goes, what's a time that you had an important part in life? And I went right to being a reptilian. I was the head. I was an Anunnaki reptilian, and I guess that's the name of it. And I was standing on this platform, and I had all these wives, and I was military, and I could just visualize to them, like, I could frighten people, send them thoughts if I wanted to, because I was a very...
That sounds more probably Anunnaki than reptilian. They're very powerful. I think people overestimate reptilians, but Anunnaki, they have proper presence. They're big as well. They're giant, like...
Right. And in this thing, my tail, I visualized someone was giving me a problem on the podium. Because I can read everyone's thoughts. I'm like, why are you doing this? I can read your thoughts. I can read it. Why are you like thinking bad stuff? Because I'm hearing it. And so the tail whipped around. I visualized the tail whipped around and went through him. Like, I can do this in a second. So you need to, that was like a threat. Like I did it telepathy. And then I could heal. I had the healing. As soon as I could hurt someone, I could heal them immediately. And then I had a wife that was gone, and she was jealous of the other concubines because we were trying to get leaders. But what I was doing is I was on the Galactic Federation Council Palladian, and I would talk to them there. But then at night we would astral travel and talk, and he would teach me. And he would say it's about brotherly love. So I'm on the podium, which is a massive entire town hovering above the planet. And I'm on this thing. It's huge. It's a whole city. And I'm talking, and I'm saying, there's a planet that's in trouble. It's in distress. It needs to know how to grow food. They're dying. They are no threat. And because we are superior in all ways, we need to help people with brotherly love. And part of them didn't like this idea. They didn't understand the concept. And so we make them strong and then they'll come back. I'm like, no, they can never combat this. And I said, it's just a kind thing to do, because we can do it if we wanted to. And they says, and then we take their resources. I'm like, no, we just do it to help them. And so that was, mixed things, but it was very controversial at the time. And then they said, go before that. And then I saw Syria, and then I saw Elohim. So if you want to, and I was completely a light body, very high vibration. And I knew Christ on another planet. I've been following him ever since. This is so bizarre. I mean, you can't tell an average person this. They think you're crackers.
Collectively, we're going through the dark night of the soul,
Mm-hmm.
but after the night comes the day. So it's going to be beautiful.
The rainbows. There's a guy. Do you get Gaia TV or the Gaia thing?
Yeah, I
Okay,
love it.
okay. So you got to see this. I'm totally telling you, this is just so cool. There's a thing on there, and it's, maybe you've seen it. It's codes and symbolism, but it talks about symbolism, and he talks about even in the Bible, and he talks about how the Bible's riddled with Orion, Syria, and all the different planets, and how the Creator made that. And he also says there were more than one God. People aren't going to like this, but then he goes into the actual meaning behind stuff. He said there was no Adam. He said that meant something else. He said it was ADM, and then he goes into the symbolism of going back further to like Pleiadians and this kind of a thing. And then he talks about the end astrology being riddled through the Bible. And he said, because that, and he explains why, and he shows symbolism. And then he goes through and explains the end of an age. He said, this is the end of an age. It's the end of the old way. So people are seeing it and catastrophic things and all that. But what Jesus told me, he said, this isn't the movie with Charlton Heston, the 10 Commandments. He said, that's not, he said, the Creator always works through people. And said, so it's going to be that way. It's going to work through people. But I do think we're going to have some, we have had for many years, extraterrestrials here. But I think that, and they are making themselves known. They are making themselves known to a lot of people. But I do think that we will see something in our lifetime with that.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
I'm getting the same vibe in whatever capacity.
And I think what I mean by saving it would be this. People are they're like Russian dolls, and they're like in all the way down, and way down here is the soul. And they're trapping themselves by labeling themselves to say that, they're a female, they're this and that, which, we've been all things.
Absolutely.
And so what happens is by something throwing them out of their false reality, they're able to be in present time, because I don't think most of these people are even in present time. And they're so filled with their own dogma and their own limitations, their own whatever. I mean, that's one thing I did run with Fiona. She said, now, when we're done with this, you will have no more dogma or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. And so when I was done with it, I didn't really have a big spiritual epiphany, but I was just really open afterwards. I was like, yeah, well, maybe so. I don't know. I'll look into it.
This is frequency. It's not just the language. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then it's just like they said when I was doing the light symbols, he said, they're not symbols. He said, they're actual dimensional things, and said, you're the key. And he said, this is what the Syrian Council told me. They said they got frustrated with me. They're like, no, you're looking at it like a human trying to figure it out like a simple. It's not as simple. Said you need to remember what it is and you'll activate it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh. So before we started, I wanted to tell you, this is like my normal language. Okay, you ready? Adrashi komadata resimi ando bayata rakama to basi etaya matoro pati mesiti me to botara kanapa alar siti me atorkonda shiti hiti matara bahana mututupu ay asiti shi atamandara kandara ti hamadoho bahale siti metiri hiti maso.
To be honest, I'm not sure if it's Syrian. It's a very fast Syrian. Do you speak fast like that all the time?
Yeah.
Give me another bit.
Okay, and there's another one I do that sounds Asian. So, Ashiti ki mandahayata sita kanama honda hadresiti mi andrombasi. Ashiti mi andopotayata. Ala siti mi andopotur siti ti metrikiti montorata de mi site hotayamantareshi. Ashakomo hatati asha. Ada kombazara site kiktemete poto teresete ete kombayatarasi. Hatarkondarasi terikite homa handarekata hayamotoroshi mado.
Arcturian, the second one.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Give me a bit of the first one. Just
okay. So that one's that one. Okay. And I've got the first one. Okay. Yeah. Oh God. See, I have different ones, but I've never had anyone to speak to it with that understood. And I never really told anyone, because why? First one. Adishita Kamandaya, Darasiti, Motor, Badra City, in the Motorgo Mahana, Ratara, Madrupase, Darakamada Hasha Yagama, Hajagama, Yagamosita, Hatiate, Yatokoma, Dashi, Ashi, Atonda, the Comba Hatabi, Atokombo, Shae, Eshitikimo.
This is not Syrian 100%, but goodness me, it sounds familiar. It's
This
almost
is
like
another one. This is the Asian one, and I don't know what it is. It's fast.
It is fast. It's like it's one of them where I can feel it, and it's like, do you know, like a feeling of familiarity, but I can't put my finger on it. It's not none of the races that I work with.
Okay, so you may do it again. You may close your eyes and do it again. Okay. This is the one's Arcturian, you said.
Yeah, it sounds like the second one sounds Arcturian, like because this, yeah.
And the third one is it sounds Asian, like Ashi huh?
This third one is actually a reptilian language, and it's the first time I heard anybody speak that. So maybe don't use it. It's not
I'm sorry. Oh God, is it bad?
It's not bad. It's just, it's got a quality that can hook you on. It's like I've never. You've had multiple lifetimes as various races. I can tell because you speak so many. But
leave the third one out. I didn't know. I'm not a bad
I feel like basically it activated in me when my reptilian memories got activated. Okay. It's nothing wrong, nothing to be scared of.
Okay, I'll leave it behind.
It's just the frequency.
It's harsher.
It is quite
aggressive.
And not so much aggressive. It can hook you. It can kind of give you this feeling like you've got all these powers, like you said about the tail. I had the same. I remember my tail very well, and all of that. So I would say use the Arcturian one. It's very versatile. I don't use that one. And that first one is it's like an old song which I remember, but can't remember the name of the band kind of thing.
The first one I use the most, and I go into the second one a lot. The third one seems kind of, honestly, this sounds really weird, but I have used it actually getting rid of dark entities, and it works. I mean, the third one, but the other ones are my regular ones. So the
give me a little bit, because I show you that there is a very Lemurian language and reptilian language are actually quite similar. Lemurian is, let me give you Lemurian. Inamanakani makanamune nino kosumenene anamakatuti maneki no nusunina manene. That's Lemurian language. It's very similar.
It is very similar. Okay, so the first one. Adakunarabasi moto zalati tarakombatarasse anashina takunarada daramatropsi matarakadreshi matarakadramma amana matoropi menarati simiti atarakomata darasitirkoshimina ashikiti mataranari trebona parasiticamanda redatriesmo.
Sounds like one of the Lyran languages, but not. It's like I can't place this one.
It's not Syrian? Really?
It's not Syrian. None of them were Syrian. One sounded Arcturian, 100%. It does get confusing. They're quite similar, your languages. They're very similar to one another. Arcturian sounds like Arabic.
Arcturian does. Okay,
I feel like, you know what I feel like? You're like very open channel. So basically, you tapping into so many different energies. There's like a massive amount of different energies coming through you. It's not just one or two, and it's like may even be one of the languages of like the angelic realm, which I'm not familiar with. I don't work with them, but you said you work with Elohim, so they don't always have to be galactic as well. another thing is you can channel ancient civilizations. You can channel the land itself. I channel the land. So I'm not sure what you tapping into when you channeling, and how did they activate?
Usually a lot of times when I get into meditation and prayer with God, and I start speaking of Christ, and like I will say that I have spoken Arabic before too, but blue background. If you don't like the orange,
I loved what you had right at the beginning, where yours was like blue, mine was like red, and it corresponded with our clothes. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, I've got one more. If you just hold just 1 second to match.
Beautiful kind of setup here with this. I didn't even know you could do it in StreamYard, and I.
Oh no, I do it in Photoshop, and I
upload that background, right? I didn't know you can't even upload a background.
Oh yeah, you can do all these things. I love StreamYard. It's terrific.
Yeah.
And let me see this. This might match your outfit. We're doing galaxies to match your outfit. That's pretty bad. Okay.
I love what you had right at the start. It was so beautiful. I just like I want to take a picture because it was so nice, but I never managed to.
Yes, this whole journey has been just fascinating. Do you ever get times you miss home though?
Yeah. When I'm actually channeling those frequencies, I don't want to come out.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel that way too. I'll let you pick. Guess preference. Whatever you want. All right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
The first time I've got a beautiful background like that in StreamYard, and
Well, I'm gonna show you a couple. I'm just gonna let you pick. It's coming in. That one. But if we remove behind, it's really pretty. It's like this thing in the middle, but it's being cut off. And then I've got pink.
I love the pink, and I love this. Yeah, that's nice too. That is beautiful, actually. I think it will really stand out,
I think the orange with what you got on stands out. And then I've got here that. I think
beautiful.
That was pretty.
Yeah,
and
keep
then,
it like that.
I got more, like if we do like a quick second on it, I'll change my top, and then we'll do pink or something. This is silly. Okay. And then when I
if you're doing in 2 parts, then I can jump into something else as well. So
yeah.
Different day.
Yeah, like a different day, right? I'll wear different earrings and stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll promote you. I'll do my first frames. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. They're really beautiful. And I spend a lot of time, so I'll make sure yours is really special and pretty. And then I'll send it to you and let you proof it or make suggestions, and then I'll send it back. But I don't get just curious people. I get spiritually very interested people. I get people that study. So if you tell them something or what to do, they'll actually go study it. And so that just seems to be the people I get. And so talk about your journey. You could even mention your husband, how, or you can mention it at the end or whatever. And then, because you work together, and explain how that unfolded. And then also explain about, it would be helpful at some point, maybe even in the second one, but about like channeling and mediumship, because you're exactly right. The mediumship, it's just to start to hear things, but as you ascend, you have impact. I've got a chart I created. This guy put it in his book, and he never gave me credit, so I've got to create my own. But in empathic, sensitive, intuitive, psychic, mediumship, higher levels of mediumship, not the yucky one, the higher level ones. Then you get into the higher level ascended beings, and then you get in, guides, and then you get into the Akashic records, and then you get into the ETs and that band. And so a lot of mediums are not able to reach at the higher levels, but that is the starting point. And also I think discernment is important, feeling the energy, because some people don't. So, I feel and I never pushed any of this. It just happened. I never pushed it. I never tried. I wasn't trying. And that's kind of, to me, that's a bit weird to try to push something that to me is sacred. I don't know. I mean, to me, it should evolve. So, but yeah, that would be good if you explain that. So I'm going to put you in the green room, and we're just going to have a chat, and you look great. Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.